begin with the end in mind. When you start something, when you make a decision, I'm going to embark upon this journey, you have to decide well in advance. I'm going to make it until the end. I am going to triumph. I am going to make it through. I am going to be victorious. You have to believe that. You have to know that. Progress. You guys know that every single Saturday, this platform is labeled Ambassadors of the Kingdom. Okay, Ambassadors of the Kingdom. Now, let me tell you this. The reason why that's so important is because the goal above all else, no matter how you spin it, no matter how you look at it, it's always been this way. It's always going to be this way, is to show people that if you practice God's principles, you can participate in his promises. So there's different ways that we serve within the kingdom. My goal is to give you not just success principles, but also God principles. It's to give you life skills. It's to give you whatever you need that's going to equip you to go out there and accomplish your mission, where you feel your purpose is, where you feel your goal is. That is the mission with this particular platform. So I'm excited about that. If you guys are ready to rock this morning, go ahead and type an AOTK in the chat. Again, I'm going to get right into it. But the new year is here. You know, 2022 has been an amazing year. And we are now at a point, ladies and gentlemen, that we are now at a point where we are entering into 2023. And my question to each and every single one of you is anybody excited for the new year? I know for me, I'm ecstatic. You know, I think about the fact that we get a new opportunity to do another lap around the sun. We get a new opportunity to make a difference in the world. We get a new chance to go out there and impact more people's lives. Everything that maybe you didn't accomplish in 2022, everything that maybe didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen in 2022, you get the chance to say, you know what, I'm going to change this. I'm going to switch that, right? Failure is the ability to begin again with increased intelligence. So you get to take everything, you get to plan, do, and review. Now is the time to think about what it is that you want to accomplish in the new year, maybe set those last resolutions. Many of you have already been doing that. But what my goal is to tell you what really goes in to creating a new reality, right? So all of us have a reality now, but again, I believe that you're on this call because you want to create a new reality. Okay, so the first things first, you guys know, I mean, I see y'all on Instagram. What's up, Jeff, Anton? Okay, I see Dave is on the call. Obviously, we're on Facebook and we got everybody here on Zoom as well. I'm going to switch back and forth between the slides and, of course, just talking to you guys. So first and foremost, if you're watching a replay on YouTube, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, share it with somebody else. We do have a Discord server for AOTK. It gives you the link to the Zoom call. So those of you guys who have been wondering, how do I get the link to the Zoom call? You join the Discord and you'll be able to stay up to date with everything that's happening and everything that we're doing. But the first thing, guys, is this. Okay, and you guys can actually see this, so you can write it down. Success is 95% mindset and it is 5% skill. Success is 95% mindset and it's 5% skill. Okay, so the reason why I want you to understand that is I get a lot of questions all the time. And it's, man, how do you do it? What do you say? How do you say it? You know, it's mostly what do you say? Most of the time, it's not how do you say it. Most of the time, it's what do you say or what do you do? The truth is, guys, your mentality towards whatever it is that you want to create, your mentality towards whatever it is that your goal is, that's going to dictate whether you win or not. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I knew what to do. For a long time, I knew what to do, but I wouldn't do it long enough, right? For a long time, I knew what to do, but I did it with the wrong energy. I did it on the wrong frequency. I can't tell you how many times I knew exactly what to do, but because life hit and something happened, I didn't do it at all. Does anybody relate to what I'm talking about? Does anybody understand what I'm trying to say? I knew what to do, but because my mindset wasn't right, my mental wasn't right, I didn't go and do it. Or I didn't do it long enough, or I showed up with the wrong energy. So when I did it, it didn't have the result that I wanted it to actually have. Okay. Success is about your mindset. Now, you do need to have some skills. Don't get me wrong. Skills pay the bills. Yes, they do. But at the same time, you need to have the right mindset before anything. Okay. So it's called begin with the end in mind. My man Darren's in the building. What's up, bro? Okay. Begin with the end in mind. When you start something, when you make a decision, I'm going to embark upon this journey, you have to decide well in advance. I'm going to make it until the end. I am going to triumph. I am going to make it through. I am going to be victorious. You have to believe that. You have to know that. Guys, I was 18 years old when I said, I'm going to become a full-time entrepreneur, right? I'm going to be able to reach financial freedom. I'm going to live the life that I want to live. And you know what I said to myself? I said, I don't care if it takes 10 years. I don't care if I'm broke for 9 years. I don't care if I have no results for 9 straight years. If on the 10th year, I get to that income, I get to that goal, I become a millionaire, I said, it's going to be worth it. How many guys would agree that if you had to spend 9 years, the next 9 years of your life, developing your skills, developing your mindset, developing a network and the right connections. What if I told you on the 10th year that you changed your life and your family's life forever? You became a multi-millionaire. How many guys believe that would be worth it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is what it's all about. But if you don't have that mentality, you won't see it through. You won't stick it through. And again, don't get me wrong. This for everybody on the call. This for my entrepreneurs. This for my folks who's working a job. This for my folks who's building a nonprofit organization. This is for my folks who, just want to have an impact on the world. It doesn't matter what you're building. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Your mindset is what it's going to be. You know what? This is crazy, man. Everybody wants to be a lion until it's time to do what it is that lions do. A lion goes out there and they hunt. They hunt. It's not easy being a lion. It's not easy having, big results. It's not easy being a leader. It's not easy being a winner. It's not easy being in first place. That stuff's not easy. It's actually very difficult. Let me prove it to you. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Okay. So it's the mentality. It's the mentality. Are you willing to endure the pressure? Because if you can endure the pressure, well, we know that pressure produces diamonds. Okay. So again, it's mindset. Those of you who were so caught up on what do I need to do? There's so many times I didn't know how, I just knew. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know who was going to come into my life and who I was going to partner with and how it was going to play out. I had no idea so many different times, but I just knew that it was going to happen if it was the last thing I do. Non-negotiable when it comes to my goals. It's not an option when it comes to my goals. It's you're in or you're out. It's yes or no. Okay, so it is mindset. Everybody type that in the chat so that I know that you heard me. It's mindset, mindset. That's the biggest thing. And you know what everybody says? Oh, I don't need the rah-rah. Oh, I don't need the hype session. I don't need the motivation. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's the most important piece. Because when life hits you and stuff starts happening and it, you know what's crazy? I've been on the phone with so many folks lately. They said, Malachi, I'm going through this. A lot of people. And it wasn't just one thing. It seems like when it rains, it pours. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that in life where it's one thing after another, and you just trying to find your footing. But guess what? Life is going to hit you and hit you and hit you. And when that happens, you got to be able to roll with the punches. Okay, so the next thing, guys, I don't really need to show you this slide, but I'll show it to you, whatever. Thoughts are things, okay? And let me just explain to you what I mean by thoughts are things. You will become the sum total of your thoughts. So some of us don't understand why we're caught in a negative cycle. Some of us don't understand. Vincent, my man, what's up, brother? Some of us don't understand why we get caught in this negative momentum. And a lot of the time, it's because your thoughts, it's because what you're thinking. You're sinking because of your thinking. Somebody says, what do you mean thoughts are things? Look, I'm not going to get too spooky on this call. I'm going to give you like reasons behind everything that I'm telling you. When you're thinking something, your thought is going to then produce your action. Okay. Right? Give me an example. If you're scared of something, you watch a scary movie. Some of y'all will watch a scary movie, horror movie, whatever. And now all of a sudden you're spooked out. Right? So now you got to turn the light on, right? To be able to go around the house. Now you got to, when you turn the light off, you're sprinting down the hallway, trying to get to the room. Okay. You're looking at something in the corner of the room and you think somebody's in the room. Really, it's just a coat hanger. Okay. This is what happens when with your thoughts. Tasha said, you know me. Okay. That's what your thoughts will do. It'll put you in a position where it creates your actions. It creates your reality. So in the same way that that's happening with the scary movie is the same thing that's happening when you're afraid of success. Or it's the same thing that's happening when you are thinking negative thoughts about it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I said this in 2021. I had a New Year's resolution and now it didn't happen. So I'm not going to have a resolution this year. It's all about your thoughts. Oh gosh, it's, I don't have no time left. I can't accomplish what it is that I had set out to accomplish. That is just a mindset. And when you're thinking those things, I'm giving you the secret. Some of you, if you understand what I'm telling you, it's going to change things. You're sinking because of your thinking. It's your thoughts. Okay. Now watch this. Somebody says, Malachi, I can't control what I'm thinking. My mind just goes and it just is what it is. You can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair. Okay. Some of you guys will get that on the way off the call. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you don't have to keep focusing on the negative thought. And when you do, it produces your reality. So if you don't like your reality, you don't like what's going on around you, it's because of something that you were thinking over and over and over and over again. Your personality creates your reality. So you guys can see this. Okay. You guys can see this, right? But your personality creates your personal reality. Yes. All right. So with your personality, ladies and gentlemen, it's how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Okay, how you think, how you act, and how you feel. By the way, all of those things are things you can control. Somebody says, oh, Malachi, I was born this way. It's just the way I am. My parents was this way, and so now no, you can control the way you think, the way you act, and how you feel. Okay? Your personal reality is the results in your life. So look around you. Your reality, which you experience every single day, you created those results. Okay, so we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And did you know that the vast majority of them, ladies and gentlemen, okay, 95% of them are from the day before and 85% are negative. So I'm going to run that back for you guys that didn't hear that. We think 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are from the day before and 80% of them are negative. Okay, so if you understand that, ladies and gentlemen, you understand that, again, we're creatures of habit. So if you understand that and you know that, then you want to start controlling your thoughts. Somebody says, how do I control my thoughts? There's so many different tips and hints that I can give you to influence your thoughts. But some of us don't know why we don't feel right in the middle of the day. The reason why you don't feel right in the middle of the day or every day, pay attention to what you're searching. Pay attention to what you're consuming. Pay attention to what you're watching over and over and over. What do you do in your downtime? Who do you talk to for no reason? Somebody put it this way, says you'll only be as successful as the people you talk to for no reason. You'll only be as successful as the people that you talk to for no reason. Who are you talking to for no reason? Who are you on the phone with talking to every single day that's putting a leak, right? Putting a leak in your ambition, putting a leak in your focus, okay? Who are you spending time gossiping with for no reason? Who Who are you spending time listening to on YouTube, on Apple Music, on Spotify? Okay, who's pouring into your life? Or are you number one in your circle? Meaning the only people you talk to is people you're lifting up. The only people you're talking to is people who are draining you, people who you're pouring into, but they have no value to add back to you. These are all influencing your thoughts. You can be as positive as you want. You can listen to as much personal development as you want. But if you're around people who are constantly reversing the effects of what you're doing, you're only going to go so far. And so again, I said thoughts are things. Some of you guys said, how do I influence my thoughts? That's how you start influencing your thoughts, your associations, the words that you speak, the words that you're listening to. It's also coming from images that you see. You can create new images around you. Ladies and gentlemen, the law of vibration. Okay, let you guys see this. Law of vibration. You guys can screenshot this. Natalie, what's up? Curtis, what up? Crystal, what up? All right. So the law of vibration, everything moves, nothing rests. And when you understand that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get into why this all makes sense in terms of vibration, in terms of frequency. Everything moves, nothing rests, and we live in an ocean of motion. Everything is always moving in the world. Everything is an expression of the same thing. Think about that. Everything is an expression of the same thing. Okay? Everything is actually energy. Everything is vibration. Everything is frequency. Okay? Everything is energy vibrating at a certain frequency. Okay? What up, Unc? Good to see you, man. An atom is 99% energy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Each person is vibrating on a frequency. So let me help you explain why this is important. Every single one of us, if we're in energy, if we're all made up of giving off a certain level of frequency, and we're all having certain feelings, let me tell you how to bring the right feelings that you want into your life and bring the right life and attract the new reality that you want to live in based upon the vibrational frequency and so on and so forth. So I want you guys to understand that if everything is vibrating at a certain frequency, one way that I like to think about it is this: when you match that frequency, then you begin to attract everything on that frequency. But if you're not on a frequency of what it is that you want to attract, then you're going to repel everything that you want to create into your life. Okay, so the law of attraction states that you attract what you are and who you are. Nothing is coincidental, and you're the sum total of your thoughts. So basically, to keep this very simple, like attracts like. So this is why I tell people, when you want to become somebody that's whatever, successful, whatever that means to you, when you want to attract a certain level of results, you want to do everything that I like to make it not so spooky. I like to take away some of the fancy words and just make it plain and simple for you. When you think about somebody that has what you want to do what they do. I was talking to a leader yesterday. She's on this call. And, she was like, man, I got this going on. I got that going on. I got this and that all at the same time. And, it's the end of the month and da-da-da-da is going on with this business. And, I was speaking to this leader and I said, I'm very, very excited for you. I hope you're a little bit frustrated. I hope you're a little bit stressed out. I hope you're trying to navigate mentally how you're going to make it through this and how you're going to figure it out, because that's what you need to stretch. That's what you need to grow. But the underlying message above it all was this. I said that because I understood that we're actually compensated in direct proportion to the problems that we solve. Follow me here. Don't lose me. We're compensated, we're rewarded in direct proportion to the problem that we solve. So in other words, the person whose results you want, the people who live the life you want, because every single one of you, no matter what you're building, no matter what you're trying to do, you should be looking at somebody who has what you want. Doesn't matter the industry, product, service, none of that matters. You should be looking at somebody and you should be evaluating that person, studying that person. That person has problems. Anybody ever heard more money, more problems? That person has problems. So when you begin to share in the problems of that person, now, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to start getting results like that person. Did that make sense? Right? Let me go deeper. Some of you have heard it this way. If you want what they have, do what they do. Make sense? Okay, so these things, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking about a vibrational frequency, when you're talking about the law of attraction, again, if you start thinking like a leader, you're going to start attracting like a leader. Somebody, I have people ask me questions. Well, hey, man, listen, how do I attract on a higher level? And that can be likened to business. That can be likened to just your personal connections. I mean, relationships. There's so many different ways that you can think about it. But how do I attract on a higher level? Well, if you want to attract on a higher level, you got to become a higher level individual. You have to vibrate at a different level of frequency. When you show up, give you an example. If you have two people in a room and it's a crowd of people in the same room, let me tell you something. If two guys in that room go to the gym, as an example, one guy's just like, he's in the gym. You can tell he's in the gym. You can see it. There's another guy. He's on the other side of the room. He's in the gym too. They're both mingling, talking to other people. At some point, these two individuals will come together and probably end up having a conversation, connecting. Why? Because it's a vibrational frequency. It's those two people are going to, like attracts like. All energy attracts its like. It has nothing to do with the gym. It has everything to do with the mentality that what you want, okay, and what you are, you will attract more of it. So you don't attract what you know. You don't attract what you like. You don't attract what you think is cool. You attract what you are. So some people are confused. Why can't I get that person to follow me? Why can't I attract this type of life? How come I can't break into that circle? How come I can't be around that network? How come people don't trust me to be their leader? The reason why is because you haven't proven that that's what you are. Because if that's what you are, then you would attract that. Does this make sense? Type of AOTK in the chat. And this is applicable to whatever goal that you have, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Like attracts like, and you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, what you deserve. Okay? And this gets deeper. I'm not a scientist, but listen, yes, quantum physics has scientifically proven the law of attraction. Okay? Every successful person has been in unanimous agreement. Understand this. Every successful person has been a unanimous agreement that we do indeed become what we think about. Okay? Every successful person will tell you that you become what you think about most of the time. All right. So yeah, I see my man Cliff is in the chat. He know what's going on. Cliff has paid attention. Okay. Guys, your brain is a transmitter and a receiver of frequency. You guys can see Albert Einstein said that. Miss Jackie's in the building. What's up? Okay. Your brain is a transmitter and receiver of frequency. So listen, I want you to think about it this way. It's similar to a cell phone tower, a radio tower, a satellite. Thought is energy. Thought waves are actually cosmic waves that penetrate all of space and time. They're the most powerful. They're the fastest. They move through brick, steel, glass, concrete. They virtually transmit instantaneously and affect physical matter. So whether you knew about this or not, you're using this 24/7. Your thoughts are an electric charge. Feelings are the magnetic charge. To make that all super simple for you, your brain is working every single day to attract a new reality, whether it's the reality you want or the reality that you don't want. Okay. So again, I know some of you guys are thinking about your business plan. Some of you guys are thinking about your business idea. Some of you guys are thinking about how many people you're going to go approach and present your vision to, and, put in front of some information. Some of you guys are thinking about how you're going to go conquer the world and the how-tos, the X's and the O's. That's all good and dandy. But what matters more than anything is what your mindset is, what you're attracting, the thoughts that you're thinking. And if you don't understand this, if you're oblivious to this, you're still going to attract a new reality. You're still going to create a new reality. It just may not be the reality that you want. Okay. But I do have good news for each and every single one of you that's listening to me. You have the ability, right, to create any frequency you desire. Okay. You also control the power, the intensity, the duration that is broadcasted, the speed at which it comes in. Okay. Now, watch this. We're going into the new year. The title of the call is, again, how to create a new reality. Number one, decide exactly what you want. I would write this down. Number one is decide exactly what it is that you want. Number two, what are you transmitting it with? And there's different ways to do that. But what do you want, and what ways are you transmitting the frequency of what you want? And I'll give you some, again, different ways you can do that. How often are you transmitting that frequency? The best way to do this, guys, I like to look at people that have what it is that I want, because when I look at people, it's very simple to tell, how do I transmit that frequency that they're transmitting? How does that person live their life? What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? What are their rituals? What are their routines? What are they doing? How do I channel that? Okay, that's why I like to look at people, right? It doesn't have to be one person. You can go and survey multiple people that have what you want, and start thinking about, how can I show up in the world daily like them, right? So a clear desire plus a high intensity plus a long duration, ladies and gentlemen, equals your desire rushing to you. I'm going to say that again, because somebody's going to take it, they're going to apply it, and they're going to have the best 2023. They're going to have the best year that they ever had before. A clear desire. It must be clear. It can't be, oh, I kind of want this, but then I want 27 other things at the same time. A clear desire plus high intensity plus a long duration, meaning over an extended period of time, equals your desire rushing to you. Okay. Most people, they might have a high intensity, but they don't have a clear desire. They don't know exactly clearly what it is that they want. Some people know clearly what it is that they want, but there's no high intensity behind it. They just know what they want. And then some people have a clear desire. They got a high intensity. They can't do it but for 5 days, but for 30 days. You got to do it over an extended period of time. Your desire, it will rush to you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you this quote by Joe Dispenza. Some of you guys who don't know who that is, I highly recommend checking out his work. You guys can see it. Okay, it says, when you combine clear intention with an elevated emotion, you'll collapse time and space, and the desire, okay, and the experience will be drawn to you. Again, when you combine clear intention with an elevated emotion, some of us, again, this is why I say your why should make you cry. If you really think about why you're doing something, it should bring you to tears. When you're thinking about it, when you're sitting there and you really thinking about, man, why am I doing this? Why is this all worth it? Why am I deciding that I want to take the road less traveled by? I want to create something most people haven't created. Why am I doing that? When you go there in your mind, it should bring you to an elevated emotion, and you'll collapse time and space, and the experience will be drawn to you. Guys, this is, again, the frequency thing I'm telling you about. Okay. Now, watch this. Write your goal down, guys, in the present tense. and read it as often as you can every single day. So I'm gonna let you guys see this. You guys can copy this format. Again, I would literally copy this format. Okay. I am so happy and grateful now that I am blank by blank. Okay. So some of you guys, some of us are used to saying, I will be this, right? I'm going to be there. What I would encourage you to do is start saying, I am so happy and grateful now that, okay? I am so happy and grateful now that I am is in the present tense, meaning what? It's already done. If you say I'm going to be there, if you say I will get there, well, guess what? It's stuck in the future forever, because you can wake up in 6 months and say, yeah, I will be there. I'm going to be there. But guess what? It's true now. That'd be true in 10 years because you don't put a date on it. You don't say it's done. And when you say it's done, when you say I am, ladies and gentlemen, you start to put yourself in the mind frame that it is already done. You start to show up as that person, the 6-figure earner, the 7-figure earner. You show up as that person before you even get there. Ladies and gentlemen, you could say a great father. You could say a great son. You could say the best student to my coach. You could say the most incredible leader. You could say, I am attracting people to me, high net worth individuals every single day. There's so many things that you can say, right? I am the most consistent person that I know, right? And then you put that I am so happy and grateful behind it. I am so happy and grateful that I'm the most disciplined person I know. I am so happy and grateful now that I have an impenetrable focus. I am so happy and grateful now. You see what I'm saying? When you say these things, ladies, and some of us still think that that's just something to say, that that's just something that sounds good. It's all about your thoughts. It's auto-suggestion. You can say, how many guys know somebody that lied so much, they started to believe that lie? Have you ever seen that? They was lying so much, you can tell like they actually believe that. Well, if they can use it for something that's senseless or negative, you can use it for something that's going to take you in the direction of where you want to go with your life. Okay? Auto-suggestion, say this over and over and over. Okay? Who's still with me, man? Type of AOTK in the chat. Who's still with me? Who's still with me? Let's go, let's go, let's go. As we bring this, Jesse said, I've seen it. As we bring this thing to an end in the next 5 minutes. All right. So the next thing, guys, that I want to get into with you is this. 7 steps to goal setting. And you guys can, again, take a screenshot of this if you want. I'm about to read it to you. All right. Crystal's locked in. Dior Kev's with us. Rue is with us. All right, man. So listen, the 7 steps to goal setting. Number 1, write it down in the present tense. Number 2, keep the goal close. You should always have your goal in close proximity with you. If somebody asks you your goal, you don't know it, that's a problem, right? You should be able to see it. You should be able to hold it. You should be able to conceptualize it. Keep it close. 3, you have a date of completion. Don't have a goal that you'll never have it. I mean, there's different types of goals, but the goal we're focused on, the goal we're going to accomplish in the near future, in the new year, listen, have a date of completion. 4, list obstacles that's going to come and try to get in your way. How many guys know that the last time you set that goal, you set out for it? You set out for that goal. In the last 3 times, the last 5, the last 10 times, it was the same thing that got in your way. It was the same mental block. It was the same person in your life. It was the same challenge. It was the same type of obstacle. Write those things down that are going to try to stop you. Next, identify people who you're going to win with. If you're going to do anything big, you hear me talk about it on this platform all the time. You're going to need a team. You're going to need people to run with you. Identify who you're going to work with. Number 6, get an action plan. Number 7, What's in it for you? What's in it for what makes it worth it for you to do it? If you don't know why you're doing it and why it's going to be worth it, well, you're not going to get yourself to engage in the action and the activity. Okay, so rest in power, Bob Proctor. He is actually the creator of this information. So as you guys can see, you have your mind and your thoughts that must be focused on the same frequency of your want. Your mind and thoughts must be on the same frequency as your want. Now, I don't believe that this is as spooky as many people make it. I think that it's your thoughts. I think it's your mind, and it creates a bunch of microtransactions that follow. Every single day, now your decisions are different because why? You know what you want, your thoughts, you're thinking in the right space, and so it changes your actions, and that dominoes and changes your results. Okay? Thought, boom. And it becomes actions, and then it becomes results. Right? So if you look down there, you might be thinking, guys, how many guys, I know I have a lot of entrepreneurs with me, not everybody is, but many of you, maybe the first time you stepped into entrepreneurship, you probably realized that it was an entirely different world. How many guys know that entrepreneurs think entirely differently? Builders, creators, we think entirely differently. It's not the same. So when you step into a new space, even if it's not, I mean, let's say you went from working fast food and now you're working in a corporate environment at a six-figure job. Doesn't matter what it is. When you go to a new level, your mind and thoughts have to adjust entirely. You cannot think the same way. Okay, so when you elevate your mind and thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, next thing you know, boom, okay, you're meeting the frequency of that which you want. Okay, and so you want to act as if, ladies and gentlemen. What does it mean to act as if? Whatever you want, whoever you want to become, show up in the world as that person. Right? Show up in the world as that person. So if you want to be that leader, if you want to be him, if you want to be her, you got to start showing up as that person before you ever are. And guess what? Other people will see you the way that you see you. But you have to believe it first. You have to show up first. You got to carry yourself that way first. You have to actually be that person first in order for it to work, in order for you to attract. But if you always think you're less than, if you always think that, oh, well, one day it'll happen, guess what? People are going to look at you that same way. Okay. Now, the frequency blocks, ladies and gentlemen, are negative emotions. You start having negative emotions, negative thoughts, they will counteract the frequency that you're trying to actually elevate to. It will block your blessing, right? So your thoughts, your emotions, you want to be aware of those at all times. Letting go. Now, this is also very, very important. When you talk about letting go, and I'm going to let you guys see this, we're going to wrap up in the next couple of minutes here. Okay, you guys can see this here. But it's very, very important to let go of baggage. It's very, very important to let go of things that may be holding you back or weighing you down. Suppression, repression, expression, escape. So letting go involves being aware of a feeling, letting it come up. You're aware of the feeling. You're staying with it. You're letting it run its course, but you don't really care to do anything about it. Let me explain what I mean. You can't, again, this gets back into what I was saying earlier about the bird, the nest, and the thoughts. You can't stop the feeling from coming to you, but you can take the power out of it. You can acknowledge it and release the energy behind it. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Practice gratitude. People I work with, we start with gratitude every single morning. Why? Because it's impossible to have that feeling of gratitude and anger, frustration at the same time. You can't have those same feelings at the same time. Let go of attachment, let go of expectations, the outcome. control, overcomplicating. Let the feeling come, acknowledge it, and don't let it have any power over you. You just keep moving, okay? And so you don't need to know how, ladies and gentlemen, you just need to know. You guys can actually see this here, okay? And we are coming to a close. We are coming to a close. So you don't need to know how, you just need to know. This is very difficult for most people. Most people cannot understand this, but I'm telling you now, it's the truth. You don't need to know exactly the way that things are going to line up. You just need to know. You start at the bottom. You begin with the end in mind. You begin with the first step. As you take steps up, you can see higher and farther. That's so true. You can see higher and farther the more steps you take up, but you can't see the whole picture when you're in the frame. So that's why you just got to keep going and trust the process. Okay. That's when you adapt to the situation and circumstances to continue to take the next step. You continue taking steps up and continue adapting until you reach the top. Okay. So you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. Steve Jobs said that. Right. So I want to give you guys a quote by Bob Proctor. The moment that your belief matches with any state you fuse with, this union results in the activation and projection of its plots and plans, conditions, and circumstances. What does that mean? That means when you actually believe, what it is that you say you believe, when you really believe it, the union of that, how many guys notice you start moving different when that belief kick in? The union results in the activation and projection of its plots and plans. Guess what? Things start working in your favor. Things start working out. Deals start closing. Okay? When you really start to believe, and again, Bob Proctor said that. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll show you guys that quote in case you wanted to save it. But ladies and gentlemen, how many guys got some value today? Go ahead and type an AOTK in the chat. Hopefully you did. Hopefully this gave you some clarity. Hopefully it gave you some insight on how you can go out there and create a new reality in 2023. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I know that this is going to be the biggest year for so many different people. I want to, again, those of you guys that tune in and watch these calls, YouTube, social media, Zoom, I would love to know about all of your wins, right? How you applied the information, how it was able to change things for you, and how 2023 was the very, very best year of your life. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, like the video, comment on the video, share it with somebody else. It'll be uploaded later today. You can go see the replays from previous weeks on the Ambassadors of the Kingdom YouTube channel. Help somebody grow with this information. It's free, right? There's no agenda. The goal, the agenda is to, again, impact the lives of people positively, show people if you practice God's principles, you can participate in His promises, life skills, success principles. Okay, so that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know I enjoyed my time with you as I do every single Saturday. Happy New Year's Eve to each and every single one of you. Enjoy it however you're going to enjoy it. Just stay safe. I love each and every single one of you. There's nothing you can do about it. See you next year.